to break into the conversation. I just thought it might be interesting to grab your attention for a couple of minutes and say, first of all, thank you, especially for those, and some people have come further afield, and I value them for different reasons, but especially those from this community who, this is such a brilliant village, and it's been great to be part of this community for the last 20 years. So thank you for that. Just to give you the background to this book, and thank you for kindly coming along and buying copies. This really came out of a talk. I was asked to do 10 top tips as an entrepreneur, and I thought that was a bit boring, so I ought to kind of link each tip with something I'd done in the past. So the first one, rather than say, you know, it's good to look for the opportunity and sell people what they want, not what you want to produce. It's much more interesting to say, well, my first business was in rat food distribution at school. And being a boarding school, people there the whole term, and they weren't organised enough to have rat food for the entire term. So I spotted the market opportunity and managed to persuade a tame teacher to buy rat food in bulk. And then I borrowed plastic cups from the dining hall and sold it at 100% markup. And it was a nice little business, but the point was there was a market opportunity that I managed to take up. And furthermore, I discovered that when I was talking about this, if I explained that I had 2 pet rats and I named one after this girl I fancied called Fiona, because I thought she would be really honoured by that. My favourite rat, I named my favourite rat after you. Did it work? Absolutely not. And, gradually, I begin to understand some of the complex psychology that those of the fairer gender have learnt along the way. And actually, the subject of girls comes up quite a lot in the book. So I should say that HS2 is actually only one of the 10 chapters, but it is the longest chapter, and was certainly the most challenging part of the various things that I've been involved in, and it has been really exciting being part of that journey. So the book started as these 10 top tips, and it gradually grew. It became this kind of journey, and it's a talk I delivered to everyone from Heart of England School to medics in Ghana to entrepreneurs in Kazakhstan, and all sorts of strange mixtures. And eventually I thought it would be interesting to put it down on paper. So last year, it was actually last autumn, summer and autumn, that I wrote it. Then I sent it to this female editor who, I realised I'd written it a bit as a sort of typical man. You know, it was all the facts, as far as I could understand it. And she wrote back with lots of notes saying, you need to give a sense of place, you know, how do you feel about this? All this. So I had to go back through the whole thing. The beginning of chapter 7 on Palestine is sort of one of the things that came out of that. I remember making this journey from Bethlehem to Ramallah, looking out the window of a minibus with my notebook in front of me, noting everything that I saw, so that I could pick up the sort of highlights and turn that into this sense of place. You know, the man repairing his car in the middle of the road, and these sort of strange advertising hoardings and so forth. And I think it has improved the book enormously. And so it went through a few iterations, and then of course the HS2 story kept getting updated. So I think the final thing was to change the 33 billion to the 50 billion, and that's out of date now as well. Anyway, it's really good to have it finally in print, and pleased that it's been described as riveting and inspirational and surreal by David Freud, who helped me with the Palestinian stuff, which is why he appears in the back cover. So today, all the profits go to HS2 campaign, so do buy it. You know, Christmas coming up, you know, buy as many copies as you want. That's where the profits are going. Thank you so much for coming and for the support. There's loads more wine and cheese, so stay as long as you wish, help yourself, and thank you again. That's my daughter's